Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VIII. Last time we had our inauguration party as we finally became a seed. And we took quizzes to a secret area, which sounds a little more dirty than it actually was. This time we have been told that we have our first seed mission and we need to go out to the front gate. And I'm gonna turn on fast forward because this will take forever. Thank you. Alright, let's make our way out here faster rather than slower. Wrong gate. And we get teleported here. What do you mean 1 more minute? Yo! Having fun with that there, Zell. Yes, you did. Oops. May come in handy. Oh? And stolen. You're still students at Guard. Must set an example for others to abide by the rules. Zell wants to punch him in the head. Anyway, we have a mission. We're going to go to Timber. We're going to support a resistance faction. Oh, seems interesting. Member of the faction will contact you at the station. Person you talk to, this person will talk to you and they'll say, the forests of Timber sure have changed. This time we must reply with, but the owls are still around. Now, if you've played Final Fantasy IX, when we go to a certain forest, the owls are kind of your indication and your leading into said, well, the village within said forest. It's a little reference back to this, I think, which is nice. Yeah, 3 of the 4 who just graduated go off on a mission all on their own. Oh? Well, why did you then? You're not going to tell me. Squall is the squad leader this time. Interesting. So we're just supposed to follow them? Interesting. Well, that's cool. The most interesting thing is if you don't talk to Sid, you're going to hate yourself. Talk to Sid. Forgot to give you this. It's a cursed item. One with enough power uses it should be of great help. Hey, isn't the new Aladdin movie coming out again? I'm not gonna watch it. There's like a CG Lion King coming out too, and I'm probably not gonna watch that either. Though from the trailer, it looks like they're just recreating the movie scene for scene. Some of the dialogue even seems the same. But yeah, so there's that. Password is the owls are still around, don't forget. What else do you have to say? Best of luck. Now, if you press the square button in order to challenge him to a card game, he doesn't say anything. And if we go out here and zone back, he's gone. Well, before we do anything else, I am going to come back and actually, you know what? We're already here. What am I doing? We can just do it right now. So yeah, he disappears. But the thing is, I didn't know this the first few times I played the game. Now, what you just saw there, of course, fast forward helped that, was a seed level. We leveled up our seed level. You noticed before in the previous episode, it was showing that we had a seed level of 8. Well, depending on the actions you take, it will level up. If you're fighting battles, usually that helps it level up. If you're running from battles, that will tend to lower it. If you want to do anything to affect it, you can go into the tutorial, select test, and you can raise your seed rank based on the test. Now, these all are going to ask you pretty basic questions, but some of them are kind of confusing the way they're worded. So basically the idea here is if you answer them all correctly, yes, no, yes, 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 no, no, yes, no, No. So yeah, if you happen to know the little bits and pieces, some of the stuff that I brought up in the tutorial, some of which you'll gather for yourself as you play the game, some you just become more familiar with over time, you can do a seed test and you can level up. Now, there are definitely easier rather than more difficult ways of dealing with this. If you're trying to do like seed tests, you don't really want to read through all that stuff, especially if you've played the game a lot. And because of that, where is it in my notes here? There we go. There is a very nice, on multiple walkthroughs on GameFAQs, you will find basically a cheat sheet, an answer sheet, which will tell you to do yes, no, yes, 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 no, yes, yes, no, no. And you don't have to read anything, you just keep doing this over and over and over again, and you'll get higher levels. So we got no, no, yes, no, yes, 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 no, yes, no. And you can keep doing this up to a specific level. I think it's usually you can do how many tests your physical level is. So if Squall's level 8, I can do up to a seed rank 1 or a seed rank 8 test. So I'm going to do the rest of these off screen. Cheat sheets are wherever you want to find them. But basically, when we do this, what we accomplish, you'll notice down at the bottom right, our seed rank has now increased. The higher our seed rank, the more money we get in intervals based on the amount of steps we take. So that will be beneficial. We'll want that money, at least early game. After a certain point, we basically won't need it anymore. And it'll keep rolling in, but we basically won't use it. But anyway, so I'm going to just do as many tests as I can, and then I will see you in a moment. So here we've accomplished as many tests as I want to do at this point, or that I can do, and you'll get this message when you go to take a test again. You can't take anything above level 8, because that's Squall's level. So we got a seed level of 17, which means we'll get a whole bunch more money than we normally would. And we also have our characters pretty much all set up and ready to go. So let's do the one thing that remains for, actually no, two things remain for us at Garden. I am on the wrong page of my notes now because I was trying to get the test scores there. There's two things we can do. They never tell you this, and as I was starting to say before, I didn't know about this in my first playthrough, and I didn't come back until the game, the plot tells you to come back, but you can actually go to the 3rd floor, and this is where we were during graduation, or when we got our reward or whatever. Sid is up here. First mission, good luck. Well, that's not what I want from you. I want to play a game of cards. Normally, if you don't do this now, and the game never tells you you can, you won't get this until midway through Disc 2. Let's play some cards with good old Sid. Do note, this one I got, when you use the card command in battle, there is a rare chance that you will turn the card of, say in this case, a Grat, one of the enemies in the training center. It will turn into a rarer card, which is a higher level monster card. So that's what happened with this one. That's how I got it. I'm not going to use it because I don't really care. It's not all that good. But we're going to do that, and we're going to do a Malboro, and hopefully that's not the one I wanted, so I'll be back when he actually plays the card I want him to play. He has a rare one. There it is. This time it only took me 3 attempts to get. He has the Cipher card. I'm still going to start off with my same opening move, which I do almost every time, and he actually plays some intelligence and he puts it in the best possible spot, which means I cannot take that card now. So then my next move, and this is a lot of the time the way games start off, is between the first 2 moves, I'll play a card here, and the computer plays a card here. So I'm going to play this one down here defensively. And then normally what I'll do is I'll play Eifert here, because normally a 9 will take whatever is here, but in this case that won't work. And then play out the rest of the game, setting up for Keistis or Zell to be able to play somewhere around here, because they can usually take whatever's up and whatever's down from them. So it puts them in a good position to take some cards. With that being the case, I'm going to, let's see here. Interesting. they've played this relatively well. I'm going to play Ifrit here in a pure defensive role. And then I am going to play that defensively. And then I know I'm going to be able to take that, play defensively, get all the cards we need. Which is very nice. He has some decent cards if you want to keep playing against him, you can do that. Let's go down to the first floor. One more person to talk to now that we have the party that we have. Specifically, we have Zell in the party. If we go over into this direction and go into the library here, there'll be somebody who has a different dialogue now that Zell's with us. I'm gonna cut the library budget. You've got a budget to buy books with. Gotta have budget for snacks. Part of your job, huh? Well, that's cool. Now, anyway, over here, she was in the previous spot, which is why I was talking to the other people before. Library girl with a pigtail. There's a book you're looking for, let me know. Happy to help you. But with Zell in the party, has anyone returned it yet? As you might be able to gather, she's, well, a little nervous around poor Zell. Well, we can't get anything out of it for now, but it's worthwhile doing. If I remember, I think we get something for making that comment. It could just be one of those little scenes that continues because we get to talk to her multiple times throughout the game. And yeah, so there's that. Now that we've done that, we don't need to stick around here anymore. Let's get on out of here. We're going to head to town, actually. That's where the boat is, or the train is, to go to the next area. So we need to go there in order to progress, but there's one other reason I would like to go there. Run! Game? Well, that was different. It just went black and didn't change. Let's leave fast forward off. Yeah, it's interesting. I started to record this episode and got about a minute in, and the game crashed on me, which I think is only the second time in the 100+ hours that I've put into playing this game on Steam so far that I've experienced a crash. So it's nice that it doesn't happen often, but it sucks that it happens at all. All right. So we've made it to town. Now, do I have it yet? I do. Okay, good. Let's go over here, and we're going to approach the shop. We do need to buy some stuff before we go. And what we need to buy are tents. The reason we want to buy tents, and I don't have enough money. Before we go and sell it, let's take a quick look at something here. The Occult Fan number 1. There's 4 of these in the game, and they don't really have, well, they do have a purpose, but once you know what that purpose is, you don't need the magazines at all anymore. So yeah, this guy was a member of Timber, or a citizen there, tending to his field when he found a dead monster after hearing a loud impact sound. Heard while he was making a fence with steel pipes. Weird. Okay. But yeah, that's pretty much all it does for now, is it gives you information. But lucky for us, it sells for a butt ton of money, and we need money right now, badly. So now that we've sold that, and I backed up too far, we're going to buy up to Yes, up to 30 tenths, which we need. And now I gotta sell something else. Because I need... Actually, no, I don't. I was thinking it was 5,000. No, it is 3,000. So now that we've done that, we can go to Ability, Life Magic Refine, which we learned off of Siren there. And we can turn Tense into Curaga spells, which is the highest level of Cure spell. And we're just going to give these to all of our characters. And what this is going to do is, one, we have the ability to heal a lot more than we would a moment ago. And two, we want to junction them, say, to our HP. Yeah, we just jumped up massively. For Squall, that's one thing, but if we look, say, over at Zell, he has 500 HP. We have more than, quadrupled the amount that we had. And we can do the same over here for Selphie, since she also has that junction. Zell's going to have to wait a little while. Now you'll notice I have rearranged kind of how I have my characters set up, and there is a reason for this. I could have put something better. I gave him the Thundagas, just because I want to have strength stats that aren't going to kill enemies, because I want to weaken them so that Selphie can use the card ability to turn them into cards. And I want to focus on having as much of a magic stat as I can possibly get. So I'm putting my tornadoes onto the magic stat to get high magic so I can draw some spells. And there was actually one other thing I wanted to do in the garden, but I'm not going to show that on screen. It's fighting the Grat enemies that I showed before. I'm going to go there now that I have 3 characters in my party, and I'm going to draw 300 or 100 for each character of both sleep and silence, because I'm going to use those throughout the game in terms of where I'm in terms of junction. Now, as I've said before, the amount of stats you have in Magic determines how much you're going to draw. And since Zell has almost nothing and the others have relatively high Magic stats, what I've done off screen is I've exchanged any spells that I plan on drawing over to Zell. So I gave him all the Asuna spells I grabbed when we were in Dalit, and I gave him all of the sleep spells that I happened to have while I was fighting the Grats earlier. I just drew a few while Quistis was carding the enemies, just so Squall had something to do. So I gave him all of those because he's going to draw less when I go to draw all the other ones. Squall and Selphie are probably going to draw, 9 each time, but he's going to draw maybe 3 or 4. So this way it gives him a little bit of buffer, because if you try and draw, say, somebody like him with a magic stat of 7 and someone with a magic stat of 50, one's going to be done, the one with 50, a lot sooner than the other one is, because the other one, in this case Zell, isn't going to draw as much because his stat's lower. So anyway, I've done that, or I'm going to do that. Then we're going to have fun, because I need to go save, and then we're going to fight a boss. Okay, we're done all that, and we've made our way back to town. I've also healed up, and I have switched around how I have my junctions set up just a little bit here. Got Blizzaga on strength. Curaga is absolutely ridiculous for the vitality stat. You take a look here, 84 versus 6. Zell literally has more than 10 times the physical defense. That is insane. It also does really well for Spirit if you wanted to do that, but that's magic defense, and there's a lot more enemies that use physical attacks than magical attacks, at least right now. So that's very good there. We got a little more strength as far as abilities. You just have the basic ones there. That's fine. Squall has a little bit of magic and a little bit of strength. I also learned Move Find off screen there when I was fighting those Grats to get all my spells. And so we have high HP. Again, high-ish strength, but still high magic. If I had lots of blinds, I'd put it on my attack. I don't, so pretty much the best thing at this point in the game is to put sleep there, though sleep won't particularly help us upcoming. And we'll put silence there to protect ourselves against that status effect. And then over here, I don't have anything else over there. So Curaga, again, something here. Yeah, I don't have anything better to put there, so water goes there, and then tornado there. So now that we're all set up, it said we're going to fight a boss fight, right? You should save your game before using it. Nah. What could I possibly fight here that would be so frightening that I would want to... Holy crap, it's the devil! Sweet! I'm going to kill the devil. This is awesome. This fight, when you're a kid, it's not easy. Later in life, when you know, understand strategy, it's laughable. So, step 1, draw demis, because he has both demis and Zell failed. His magic stat is just too low, so instead of doing that, Zell, gonna have you cast the blind spell that I was able to draw earlier. Now, the devil, in this case his name is Diablos, has 3 attacks. Well, technically 4. He has Demi, Gravija, which is an attack you'll see eventually, and his normal attack. His other one, I'll get into what that does in a little bit here. But first, I want to inflict blindness on him, because his normal attack is the only thing that's not gravity-based, and it's the only thing he can use to kill you. He has 50% resistance to it, but if you hit him with it a few times, you should get it on, and then you're pretty much good to go. The other thing to do is, once you've drawn some of those demi spells into your inventory, we want to cast those. You don't want to just go draw and then cast, because then this will not work. I'm gonna have Zell attack himself so he gets his limit break. But yeah, for whatever reason, they scripted him to counter any demi spell cast from your own stock and use that, like, use Kiraga as a counter on the person who cast the spell. It makes no sense. I have no idea why it works this way, but it does. And the devil has about 8,000 HP, at my levels anyway. And so we just need to cast Demi on him a few times to bring him down to size, and then we can easily take him down. But first I would like to show off his one other attack. But yeah, this is a real good way to stay at relatively high HP, unless, of course, you want someone, like in my case Zell, to be at lower HP. Let's show how Zell's limit break works here. Duel. You select Duel. Now, the way this works is you have a set amount of time to execute a number of attacks. And if it shows up on there, that's what you want to do. Now, the best possible way to use this is what I'm doing, and this is called Armageddon Fist. And basically, it's cycling between some of the weaker hits so you get more hits in, as opposed to trying to go for what they call a finisher. And basically what I'm doing is I'm alternating between right-left for one move, and then triangle X, which in the original version was circle X, and just alternating between those over and over and over again. Oops, I missed that one. And just do that over and over again, and you'll do a bunch of damage. And unfortunately, even with darkness, sometimes he gets hit off. But that's what we have Phoenix Downs for. And then we will cast a Cure spell on Zell so he doesn't die again. And hopefully this guy can show off his other ability before I kill him. Please use your other move. Yeah, you still have darkness on. It's rare for him to hit, but... Game, come on. Are you stuck in a loop? There we go. Gravija, or Gravija, I've heard people pronounce it as, is basically 75% of your max HP done to everyone. And so we can use Duel again, and then Rensukuken, and then the fight's over. But yeah, there are other variations of Armageddon Fist, but this is the easiest one for me to remember, and easiest one to perform in my opinion. And you just cycle them over and over and over again. If you don't, you can build up to a finisher instead, but there's not really any point. Anyway, this guy falls down now. rough divide it is. But yeah, the devil, not too strong if you know how to, make use of his glaring weakness and that he's susceptible to blind. It's the only reason we bothered to pick those up from before. Here we get Diablos' card, some G returners, which I don't need, a bunch of AP, which allows us to learn Elemental Attack Junction, and we get the Diablos GF, which I will be going into more detail on later, but if I remember correctly, Diablos fits well with the Shiva GF, so we're going to put it there, and now everyone has a good magic stat. And I need to give you something really good to go on your magic stat, which I will do next time, because I don't have anything really good to put on there right now. But anyway, that's pretty much all the time we have for today as far as what I'm going to be learning with Diablos. Okay, I just went and found my list of which abilities I want to learn in which order, just so I don't say it wrong. First thing we want to learn, Time Magic Refine, because this is broken and super just broken. This is really, really good. Next thing, Status Magic, not as broken, but we definitely want to get that earlier rather than later. Then we want to get Encounter Half. It cuts encounter rate by half. It can be useful. I actually have one specific purpose for that, and as soon as I learn that, we want to go over to the other side. You can learn the hit junction if you want. I'm not a big fan of it. You can work on HP if you want. I don't really need that right now. More importantly, I want to work on Mug, because we want to get Mug as soon as possible, and it takes a lot of AP to get. It's the only way to steal in this game, and we need it. This is the only GF to have this ability, and we want it yesterday. So anyway, that's pretty much all the time we have for today. Next time, we're going to head back into Balam City, and, well, before we go on a mission, I think we should play a little more cards. That's all for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.